Can you believe it's been 1 year since I bought this YETI shaker? Man, time flies by. But anyways, I want to talk about it again. So it's been a year and it's been interesting using this thing. It has a little bit of drawbacks to it, but it also has a lot of pros to it. So we're gonna talk about it right now. First things first, so if you want to operate this thing, you got to know how to use it. So you can't just take off the lid. I mean, maybe you can. Okay, so it comes off pretty easily. But really what you want to do is you want to keep on unscrewing this because air gets caught up into it. So if you want to put it onto your shaker, obviously you don't want to have this top on because if you try to put it on, it's not going to go on very well. Yeah, so it kind of loses that suction for the most part, and it's not all the way on. So in order to actually make it to where it'll hold properly and not fly off whenever you're shaking, you actually want to take the very top of it off first and then put it onto your shaker by giving it a little twist. So now it's on there really tight. I can put this on and it's not going anywhere. Other things about it is that there are gaskets on it. They do come off pretty easily. There's a gasket in the bottom of this cap, and there's a gasket that actually goes on the main part of it as well. But it doesn't take any time at all to take it off. It cleans really easily. I wouldn't say it's a con, but I actually would say that it's a pro because it's really easy to take off and clean. So YETI did a good job on that. Now, some pro tips. If you have different YETIs, you don't actually have to buy it with this. You can actually use any kind of YETI that can hold one of these caps. So if you have one of these caps right here, and it's kind of like, you know, like the medium-sized one, I guess you could say, because there's a small one, there's a large one, which I do have all those. Let's see if I can show you real quick. So like on this bad boy right here, you have a big YETI lid that comes with it. Obviously the shaker is not gonna go on that, okay? It has to be this size, so that's the difference. Also, with your wine glasses, unfortunately, they're too small. So your YETI shaker lid is not gonna go on the wine glasses. But things like these stackables, which are pretty handy to have, and the low balls, which are no longer around, it'll go on there. And I'll demonstrate that real quickly. Again, take the top off, and boom. So I think it actually looks pretty cool like this whenever you put it onto this type of Rambler. But there it be. That is the smaller version of the YETI shaker. So you can just kind of shake it like that. Pretty cool. But if you want to go real slick, you know, you can put it on your stackables, which I think actually looks pretty cool. Here's what it looks like on the stackable. All right, but now let's actually talking about making cocktails with it. So the only thing that I don't like that is kind of a con is the noise that it makes. They're well insulated, so they don't make a lot of noise. You can't hear, you know, the nice shaking of that ice that you normally would hear when you're using a Boston shaker. You just kind of hear like a slight tone of ice and that's it. But I like that loudness. I like people to be able to hear me shaking a cocktail shaker from across the room. But with this, it's very insulated, so you're not gonna get all that. But hey, let's get into making a cocktail real quick. So I have here Rittenhouse rye. I have a lemon. I've got some Demerara syrup that I made. I have an egg, and I have Angostura bitters. Yeah, aromatic bitters. So we're gonna use these right now, and we're gonna make a cocktail. And I think I'm gonna go with the standard one that I've been using. Because if you're gonna go out and buy this, then either you can get it without this, or you can get it with it. Whenever I ordered it, if you go to my unboxing, you'll see that I ordered my shaker with this. But again, I didn't have to order this tumbler, Rambler, whatever you call it. I didn't have to get it, but I got it anyways. All right, for this recipe, I'll be making a whiskey sour. So I'm gonna take a lime, I'm going to cut it. Did I say lime? I meant a lemon. All right, so I cut my lemon in half. Now you gotta juice it. So if you don't have a juicer, you're gonna wanna get a juicer. I like this one because it's really easy to use. You just squish down and the juice comes out. It doesn't seem like a lot of juice came out of that one. Yeah, these are very thick lemons. But you know what they say, when life gives you lemons, You make whiskey sours. All right, so I'm gonna try to make 3/4 ounces of, yeah, 3/4 ounces right there. That's all I need. So I'm gonna dump it in here. Easy does it. All right, now I'm gonna take a 1/2 ounce of my demerara syrup. So the way they make the demerara syrup is you have to actually buy the sugar, and you have to do 2 parts of the sugar, 1 part water. You simmer it, you don't boil it, because if you boil it, it's going to take away some of that sugar content. Just in case you don't know, this is what the sugar looks like. I bought this on Amazon. It was $21 for this big thing of sugar, and I've already used some of it. I actually used 2 cups to 1 cup of water. So there's still quite a bit in here. Like, there's a lot that I could still use. This is gonna last you a while. So I think it's worth the purchase, especially if you want to make your own sugar at home. And like I said, it's easy to make. All right, I've already dumped my sugar in there, my sweetness. All right, now I gotta add 2 ounces of Rittenhouse. There's a thing that I recently found out about, is that this cap right here, this cap can actually hold 1 ounce of liquid. I haven't tried that. So let's see, I'm kind of curious. Will it hold 1 ounce of liquid? All right, I'm gonna pour some of my rye. I'm gonna do 1 ounce of rye. Now I'm keeping the gasket on because I'm assuming that if you're gonna do this, I think you would leave the gasket on, but let's see. Maybe not. So, pull the camera out. That is how much is in there, and there's still some left. Not a whole lot, well, almost 1/4 ounce. So I'm thinking, and I'm just guessing, maybe that gasket doesn't even come out. All right, so right now I'm just gonna pour this in, because I need 2 ounces. Easy does it. All right, I'm gonna take the gasket out, set her down, and do another 1 ounce. Let's see what that does. That's 1 ounce. All right, so I just learned something. Take the gasket out, you'll get a full ounce. So I guess if you're in a pinch and you're trying to make drinks on the go, you can fill it up halfway and they'll give you 1/2 ounce. You can fill it up all the way and that'll give you an exact ounce. So pretty cool. Anyways, I'll put that gasket back on because you need the gasket on in order to actually seal it properly. All right, now I'm gonna do my egg white. So with my egg white, I'm just gonna simply crack it over. And I'm just gonna kind of separate the yolk from the egg white as carefully as I can, because I don't want to erupt. Oh, I dropped it. That happens sometimes. If you drop it, don't fear, just get a little spoon, ladle, and gently take it out. Oh, no, I think it busted a little bit. All right, I'm not doing this perfectly, y'all. No, it didn't bust. I got it. I got it out of there. Oh, that was a close one. All right, now that that's done, I'm gonna seal this. Now, what I've seen every bartending show do is they'll actually dry shake it. I've heard dry shake for 15 seconds. I'm kind of scared of the idea of that. But because we're using a YETI shaker, it should not explode, because I've used Boston shakers and they always explode on me. I'm hoping this one doesn't because it has gaskets on it. So I'm gonna give it a really good shake right now. All right, didn't explode. Now, oh, actually, I can feel it. Ooh, there was a little bit of pressure there. All right, so I'm just gonna release this. I'm gonna open it up, There we go. Beautiful. Now I need ice, and I'm not going with the fancy ice, I'm just going with regular ice. The fancy ice will go into the glass that I'm using. All right, let's shake it again. Again, it's definitely really not that loud. So take out my Boston shaker and I'll show you what this one sounds like. All right, so I just pulled out another shaker. Let's see what this one sounds like, if there's a difference or not. So that's that, and that's this. Again, this over this. Now, a big difference to note is that this is now piping cold. Is that a word, piping cold? I don't know, it's cold. Cold to the touch. Now, if I shake it even more, it might actually start to stick to my hands because some of these shakers can get really cold depending on how they're insulated. So this one, not insulated. This one, insulated. And I don't feel any cold whatsoever. All right, let's take it off and let's pour the drink. But first, I gotta get my fancy ice. All right, now, in order to pour this, you actually don't want to use just this. You want to do what's called a double strain. So I'm gonna double strain it with a fine strainer. And the reason why I do this is because you want that egg white not to be in your drink, because then it's gonna taste kind of weird. It's gonna taste kind of slimy in a sense. But if you do that, you take out that egg, you separate it, and what it does is it makes a fluffier drink. So that's why the egg white's used. The egg white is actually used to make the drink more foamy and fluffy. Man, got a lot of egg in that, I guess. I don't want to waste my alcohol. Come on. I'm gonna give it a little spin there. Get every ounce of it. Now another thing is some people like to double strain with this as well. You still need a fine strainer for this, but will it fit over a regular YETI? Actually, I want to put it on that one because this is still pretty clean. Let's see. Oh, there it is. All right, so will it fit on something like this? Absolutely, it will. And it actually works pretty good. So if you want to use this kind of utensil, whatever you call it, not utensil. If you want to use this kind of device, whatever you call these, you just put it on there and you can strain it like that. Pretty simple. All right, you're probably wondering what the paste shods is for. So the paste shods just goes on top. You just do maybe about 3 dabs of it. Preferably, actually in the drink, not on the cube. But then what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to spin or give it a little, kind of a little twirl there. Let's see if I can show it. Hoping to make hearts, but it's not that fluffy. But that's kind of the effect that you're going for. Some people do it better, but I guess it worked. All right, so I just made a pretty good cocktail with this shaker. Let's give it a try. Tastes very lemony, like a lemon meringue pie on a picnic in autumn, maybe fall. It's comforting. Actually, this would be a good winter drink. I like this a lot. So again, with the YETI shaker, if you want to clean it, take off these gaskets on there. Get them off really quickly. That way you don't get all this egg stuff in there. That's it. So who is this shaker top for? This shaker top is for anybody that enjoys making cocktails, and it's for anybody that is out in the wild and likes to make cocktails, because it's rugged, it's pretty sturdy, it's easy to clean, it's easy to keep up with, It's only got like a little twist on there, so it's nothing too difficult. But like I said, for these pro tips, again, I just want to reiterate, if you're going to use this thing, definitely take the top off first. It comes on much easier. Take the top off before you take off the actual bigger part of it off, because it will stick. It's airtight, works really good. So that's it for this video. If you guys have not seen my other review where I talked about it for the first time, where I did my unboxing, I'll link that one at the very end of the video. But that's gonna do it, guys. We haven't been everywhere, but it's on our list. Food and Drink Chronicles out.